What is going on, everyone, and welcome to my final review, or my final video in my Chucky review series. Now this one isn't a review, but as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be ranking all 11 bits of media in the Chucky franchise. So all 8 films and all 3 seasons of television. Now obviously it goes without saying, but it never fucking does. This is my opinion and my list, so let me know what your ranking of this franchise is in the comments, and I'm happy to compare the pair and see where things align and see where things differ, because I'm sure that my ranking will definitely turn a few heads. But it's just my honest opinion, so let's get into it. Actually, before we get into it, I'll just say that this is going to be quite brief. These aren't reviews. I do have reviews for every single one of these films/seasons of TV, so go check those out if you want my more in-depth thoughts. This is just going to be a ranking with just a few little bits of information or bits of my opinion that I think are worth saying. So let's actually get into it now. Coming in at number 11 is Child's Play 2019. This remake is just one that I think didn't work at all. I will admit though, after watching season 2 and 3 of Chucky, I have become a little bit more forgiving towards this remake, because I'm thinking, actually, you know what, maybe if it had have gotten out of Don Mancini's hands, maybe that could have been better, could have gone in a different direction that I would have liked more than whatever the fuck the TV show's done. With that being said, I didn't like this film at all. I didn't like the way it went. I thought the idea of maybe having an AI doll become more sentient and protective or malfunctioning, I thought that could have been interesting, but it lacked any wit. It had a couple of kills, that's about it. The characters weren't that endearing. I thought that Megan was a far better film. So yeah, this one's just the least Chucky of the Chucky films, and that's why it's got to be at number 11. At number 10, we have Child's Play 3. Now, this is one that I see some people defending, but I personally can't get behind it. I've seen some people say, oh yeah, but films like, you know, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, they're all basically doing the same thing 3 films in, so why is Chucky getting the bad rap for doing the same thing 3 films in? Well, to that I would say that films like Friday the 13th Part 3 are not good. I don't like that film. And films like Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, that is a remarkable third film. Those aren't the kind of films that you get very often. And for me, Child's Play 3 is doing more of the same, only worse, with less interesting characters, a less interesting setting, less interesting kills, less interesting Chucky. It's a film that I don't hate, but it's a film that really, I could rewatch the entire franchise 10 times and always skip this one and not really feel like I'm missing out on anything. Coming in at number 9 is Chucky Season 2. My god, what a mess this thing is. I don't hate the setup, but the way it goes with all these different ideas that are never committed to is really, really disappointing. I feel like the idea of them being stuck inside this reformed juvenile prison kind of school, I kind of like that. It could have been really interesting, but instead it's just a bunch of indulgent ideas that absolutely go nowhere because this bloody TV show can't commit to anything, and it ends up just being basically like, it feels like every episode is back to the drawing board. Let's have a few ideas. Actually, no, let's scratch that and let's just not explore that any further. So this one is a real big disappointment for me. I like aspects of it, as I said in my review, but for the most part, this is just a bloody disaster. Number 8 for me, we have Seed of Chucky. Now, I do get a bit of entertainment value out of this. This is knowingly silly. I mean, the whole franchise is, but I feel like what this film does better than something like Chucky Season 2 is that it has the balls to commit to its stupid ideas. It has an identity crisis. It doesn't know exactly what it wants to be. It's trying to be a comedic take, but also a creepy take, but also a satire on top of it all. But it's doing all these different tones onto the one idea, which is, what if Chucky had a gender-confused baby? And that's the only reason it really gets above Season 2 for me, is the fact that it has this one bonkers idea and then it runs with it. Season 2 just doesn't have the balls to run with it. At least Seed of Chucky does, and Even though the results aren't always that entertaining, it is intermittently funny in parts, which, you know, I would rather watch Seed of Chucky than Chucky Season 2 again. At number 7, we have Chucky Season 3. I'm seriously just lost for words about whatever this thing is. I actually thought the first 4 episodes were quite good. I think the introduction to everything, I was like, yeah, this is getting back on track. It's much more straightforward and streamlined. But then it goes off a cliff. But then it gets back on the cliff and then reverses back. And then it's like, it's okay again. No random ghost shit. No, let's turn it into Insidious and do Ghost Dimension Troubles things. It's just like, oh, guys. Again, please, stick to an idea if you're going to do it. I love some of the ideas here. I hate some of the ideas here as well. This was just a complete train wreck in the end, unfortunately. I had a lot of fun with the first half of the season, but then it was just like, no. If you're going to do something, commit to it. Don't pull out. So, yeah. I ended up being pretty disappointed with Chucky Season 3. I was quite nice to it in my review. I thought I actually gave it a thumbs up recommendation, but if I had my time again, I'd probably give it a thumbs up and down at best, probably leaning towards the thumbs down rating. So, yeah. Now we have the shit piles past us. We are getting into the stuff that I straight up love now. And coming in at number 6, we have Bride of Chucky. Bride of Chucky would be higher if it weren't for the 2 lead characters being absolutely despicable. I don't think that there's anything really redeeming about them at all, and spending time with them is just miserable. That being said, spending time with Chucky and Tiffany is great. Tiffany is one of the best additions to the franchise. She even rivals Chucky in her insanity at points, which makes it really, really fun. They're almost like trying to one-up each other, which I love. And overall, this is just probably the funniest film in the franchise too, which it ditches the horror pretty much entirely, but I think it's okay because it's bloody entertaining. Coming in at number 5, we have Chucky Season 1. When this TV show was looking promising. My god, what a decline in quality this show had. So Chucky Season 1, I very much enjoyed. I thought it was really, really solid. I think it balanced all of its different themes really, really well. It was a surprisingly good transition to the small screen. There was all these different storylines, and no matter how convoluted it ended up getting, it never actually lost me at all with like this whole Chucky and Nika kind of thing. That all really worked for me. I thought it was really impressive. I think that Junior Wheeler has a great character arc, a bit of a Frankenstein's monster kind of arc, which I really, really liked as well. He was probably the most standout part of the show for me, aside from Chucky, who is, of course, fantastic. Again, he hasn't lost it. He's just so funny, spitting out one-liner after one-liner. I love it. Coming in at number 4 for me, we have Curse of Chucky. Now, this one was one hell of a surprise, actually. After what Seed was, they decided that they needed to go back to basics, and back to basics they did. They made a film that takes place basically entirely in one house, where you have this cast of characters who are all being picked off one by Chucky, and it's legitimately great. It is creepy, it is funny, it's intense, it's weird. I think that this is the direction the franchise needs to go in more. Like, you need to bloody rein it in a little bit and stop being fucking stupid. Sorry, I'm still not over how unbelievably horrible the last bit of Chucky Season 3 was. I'm sorry. But Curse of Chucky is wonderful, and I'll be revisiting it a lot in my lifetime. Coming in at number 3, this is where things get a little bit spicy. And that is because at number 3, I'm putting the original Child's Play. Now, don't get me wrong, I fucking love this film. I think it is wonderful. I think it's a brilliant blend of horror and comedy, and even a bit of a mystery aspect in the first act as well, which is really impressive. Even though you, the audience, know where things are going, it's not like you're bored waiting for the characters to catch up. It's actually really, really intense. And this spawned just my favorite horror franchise of all time. And I can't say enough good things about this film. The only thing that's holding it back is I think that the next two films in the franchise did it better, if that makes any sense. So, no knocks on this one at all. I absolutely love it. But after certain rewatches, I've come to realize that I just prefer the next two films more. Coming in at number 2, my god, this one is one that I don't think many people will agree with me on. But whatever. Number 2 for me, Cult of Chucky. I can't begin to stress to you how much I actually adore this film. I think that this is one of the most bold and ambitious turns that a franchise has ever done. Like, literally multiplying the amount of villains that we have. Like, there's been no Friday film where there's been, multiple Jasons or multiple Freddys or anything like that. This has got multiple Chuckies, and it uses it to absolutely hilarious effect. It is insane. It is so weird, shit that happens in this film. I think Brad Dourif is on fire. Fiona Dourif is also on fire. I think that the location is excellent. It's just chaos and mayhem, and it leaves you on this amazing cliffhanger where you're just dying to know what happens next. I think that Cult of Chucky is so undersung in how good it is. I think it's just a complete riot. But coming in at number 1, you guys knew this would be at number 1 because I think basically everyone has this at number 1, Child's Play 2. Think of what Child's Play 1 did, just better, basically. That's all I can say about it. It has the character of Chucky fully realised, the character of Andy fully realised. He's learnt more about the world, more than any 8-year-old boy should. He's been put into the foster care home system, and he's worn out, but he's got a little shit on his tail, so he's got to fight back. And this film is just 84 minutes of chaos and carnage and kills and everything you want a Child's Play film to deliver. And it culminates in one of the best climaxes a horror film has ever had. The location of the toy factory is nuts. There's just so many different obstacles and things in the way and stuff like that, and the way different bits of the toy factory are used against Chucky and the way Chucky uses them for himself, like shoving the bloody knife thing down into his severed arm, having the security guard be killed with the popping the eyes and stuff like that, and then using the hot wax to cover Chucky and everything like that. It's just makes such good use of its setting. It's so intense and entertaining. Child's Play 2 is one of my favourite films of all time, and it's absolutely number 1 of my favourite Chucky films. Whew! That is the entire Child's Play franchise done. Now, until season 4 comes out, I'm not going to be talking about this franchise again. And honestly, as much as I love this franchise, I need a break. I'm so tired of it. God. Yeah, I don't know what my next video will be. I'll probably, if I see a new film anytime soon, I'll probably do something on that. But I've been really bloody sick again. I don't know if you can tell, but my nose has been all blocked up, and that's why it's been a break since my last video, is just because I was sick, and then I got better for a couple of days, and it was when I recorded my season 3 review, and then it's just gone straight back down again. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I apologize for the hiatus. Anyways, thanks for joining me on this ride where we've discussed the entire Chucky franchise. It's been a lot of fun, mostly. I really, really enjoy almost everything that this franchise has to offer. And yeah, please let me know what your ranking of the franchise is in the comments. So I'll see you all later. Bye.